Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name's William, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Today we're going to be taking out the Diamond DA62. We're in New Zealand. It's my first FSEconomy flight in quite some time. I bought the Diamond. I want to try it out and kind of see if I can get the hang of the aircraft and FSEconomy as well. So let's go ahead and get on into it. I hope you all enjoy. Alright everyone, welcome to the Diamond here. We're going to go ahead and start up our FSE client. You can see it there. Just hit, well, first of all, just some information. You can see Diamond DA62 available here. We're at Winnipeg. It's a military airbase. I probably butchered that, in New Zealand. We're going to be flying it down to Hamilton, I believe. So we're just going to go to action, start flight. You can see there we got some cargo loaded on board, and we'll be taking the majority of that cargo to Hamilton, I believe. So now we're good to go as far as that is concerned. We'll go ahead and kind of get that out of there and go through and try and get the aircraft ready for startup here. So first things first, we'll get alternators on. Good to go on that. The battery on. Let's kind of wait for these screens to come up for a moment. Let's just make sure this is parking brake is on. Alright, so we'll go left engine master and get the fuel pump going. We'll click the starter. Make sure it's actually started up here. Oil pressure, oil temperature's climbing. Everything looks good there. Alright, so we'll repeat for the right. Here to start up there. Alright, sounds good. We'll go ahead and get our avionics up. Let's see if we can run without the fuel pumps on. The electrical fuel pumps. And go through getting the rest of the aircraft good to go. We should have put our strobe light on first, but we got it on now. Better late than never. Let's see, pitot heat. We'll go ahead and turn that on so we get the warning to kind of go away for us. We can switch our CDI on over to GPS. We've got it loaded in already. You can see where we are here on the ground and kind of flying off basically almost exactly southeast, it looks like. So short flight, just about 70 miles or so, and completely new aircraft for me, really. So it should be interesting if nothing else. So we could clear the alerts there. Go and release the parking brake. We're technically on the clock now, as far as like what it cost us for our aircraft, and fuel and all that. I'm not going to worry about it too much though. Alright, so that taxiway was atrocious, but you're joining me. We're short of runway 3 here at the airfield. So we're going to go ahead and go through and just set a couple things up. Since we are heading to the south east, we'll go ahead and set up an odd altitude to fly at here. We'll do, we'll try out 5,500 feet, and we'll see how that works for the aircraft. Like I said, very new to the aircraft, don't really know a whole lot about it. We'll go ahead and throw in nav mode as well, and we'll set up a vertical speed mode. And I'm not really seeing how to adjust my vertical speed just right off the bat. So, you know what, we'll mess with that when we're in the air. Let's go ahead and get moving. Ah, there it is, right there. It's actually pretty clever. Okay, so I do know we're going to be shooting for about 80 knots for our rotation speed. And climbing out at about 90. Go flaps takeoff. We'll set takeoff power. So airspeed is alive. Trundling down the runway here. Almost through 70 knots. There's 80, so we'll start to pull back. little too gentle on the rotation, I think, but we're starting to climb out, so let's pitch up. We're already over 90. And get our gear up, it's in transition. The gear is up. Alright, at a good altitude, we're above 90 knots. Let's go ahead and bring our flaps in. Airspeed's starting to climb a little bit more. It's apparently real draggy. And we'll start our right turn. And pull our power back to about 95% or so. So we're not really holding our climb airspeed at all. This thing is actually climbing a lot better than I thought it would. See the countryside all out around us. Airport off behind us. Almost through 2,000 feet. We're going to continue our right turn. See, I think we've got a little bit of a hole in the clouds here that we could climb up above. So we'll go for that, and we'll try and see if we can get above this layer, 5,500, for a little bit of a smoother ride for everyone involved here. Even though we're just hauling cargo. But 2,600, we'll go ahead and get our landing light off. Everything else looks decent. Coolant temp is rather high. Not sure if there's anything we can adjust, any cowl flaps or anything like that, but I don't see anything right off the top of my... They're just jumping out at me here on the display. Alright, we're going to continue to the right just a little bit. Try and stay out over the water a little bit more. So we kind of clear, it looks like a nice clear area. We're kind of avoiding the big town over there to our right. We're still off the autopilot. This aircraft seems really docile so far. It is looking like it's a lot cloudier down towards really the east is where I'm seeing the majority of it, but we'll kind of see what comes. We'll get to see how difficult this aircraft is to actually land. Should be fun. So climbing out like an absolute banshee for this thing. 10 degrees, it hasn't complained once. We've even pulled the power back and it's still holding like 110 knots. I mean, our fuel's pretty darn full as well. It's we don't have a whole lot of payload on board or anything like that, but it's not like it's super light. Alright, so we're going to start to kind of capture our original direct course. Not that we needed to, but we'll start to capture it. We got quite a bit of a headwind, quartering headwind really off in front of us. So we're offset a little bit. And it's still kind of bumpy up here. but we're gonna go ahead and try to kind of trim it out a little bit more. Get it on 5,500 feet, or a little above. Let's get our speed up. About 150 knots ground so far, even with the headwind. Almost 160 knots true. Real big blanket of clouds off towards our northeast. It's quite a bit clearer off towards our south. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and engage the autopilot at this point for a second. Kind of explore the aircraft a bit. I do have nav mode engaged, it's on GPS, it's captured. Just, I guess it's getting a little bit crazy, kind of fine-tuning it. I guess we're also going to fly right over. Is that, Yep, we're gonna fly right over a real busy airport here. It's almost exactly below us. Alright, we're back inside the aircraft now. I'm kind of looking around for a little bit. It looks like we've got a decent amount of clear weather off in front of us. 20 minutes or so away from Hamilton. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pick up the ATIS frequency that I've got for the airport here. It's 128.6, so let's see. Get an idea what the weather looks like there. I think we only really have one runway option available to us, even though there's like 4 at the airport. Looks like 18 left or 36 right. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
Hamilton Airport information kilo 20000. Flight 110 at 5. Visibility 6. Sky conditions. Few clouds at 800 feet, few clouds at 4,400 feet, few clouds at 12,100 feet. Temperature, neither. 2.10. Altimeter tree, 0.37. Visual runway 18 left and visual runway 18 right in use. Landing and departing runway 18.
Alright, so they're using 18 left, 18 right. I believe 18 left is the longer runway, so that's what we'll plan for. And 3037 is what they had for the pressure. We'll go ahead and put that in. We could get a closer pressure for us, but that's what we'll put in for the moment. Not exactly planning this flight out as much as I would a normal one. I just want to get back into FSEconomy, in all honesty. I picked up this aircraft because I've always liked the look of it. It looks really funky, but I am a fan of it. And it was available in New Zealand, so it'll probably stay in New Zealand. And it's a place I've never really flown around either, so figured new aircraft, new area. Seems about the right size for this area as well. It's not so fast that it kind of seems like a waste. Kind of zip around and explore some of the places around here. So we're at 5,500. Go ahead and set our standby up as well. 3037, right? 3037. Get that one set correctly. So So just kind of going over a couple things. It looks like we can get our takeoff flaps out at 136 knots and full landing flaps at 119. So we can put our first notch out pretty early, in all honesty. That's nice. Probably helps slow the aircraft down quite a bit. And then beyond that, 119 to get the last notch out, and it looks like approach speed's about 90 knots, somewhere around there. Just wondering what that button was. Pedal adjustment, that's pretty neat. You got 3 rows of seats in this thing. I don't think you'd want to be in the very back. That's where we'll put the cargo. We're just 44 miles away now, or so. Looking at about 17 minutes. Already planning on runway 18 left at Hamilton. Final little thing to just kind of get ahead of everything. We'll go ahead and set 180 into the heading bug. Now we'll enjoy the view. Alright, we're just under 17 miles now from the field. Sorry for the little bit of a bumpy flight. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of the beautiful New Zealand countryland out here. Absolutely amazing. It really does look quite good, making me want to watch Lord of the Rings. Like I said, we're just now about 16 miles out. 6 minutes. It looks like we got a cloud layer right at our altitude in front of us. So we're going to go ahead and come down to 3,500 and kind of learn the aircraft a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and go vertical speed mode again, and we'll decrease. Just go for 1,000 feet a minute here. And I have to pull the power back. Even though that's just the yellow arc, I'm sure we could actually get up in there. It is a bit bumpy, so let's try not to. So we'll pull the power back. Since we're getting close to the airport as well, we'll go ahead and go landing light on. And we'll get our map range in just a little bit as well. We got a small airstrip off our right wing out there somewhere. Take one more listen, see if we got any more updated weather.
Hamilton Airport Information Lima 20000. Wind 017 at 9er. Visibility, tree. Sky conditions, few clouds at 800 feet, few clouds at 4,400 feet, few clouds at 12,100 feet. Temperature, 9er. Dew point, 10. Altimeter tree, 0.37. Visual runway 18 left and visual runway 18 right in use.
Alright, so still 18 left, 18 right. Altimeter setting still the same. That cloud layer's, it looks like that's exactly what they're talking about, basically 4,400. It looked like maybe that's around where the base of it is, but it was coming up to our altitude. I want to try and stay clear of that. Beautiful city up in front of us. I think the visibility out the nose of this thing's probably going to be a bit difficult on approach, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's not terrible. Get the power back in a little bit. So we're 3 minutes away, 9 miles. We'll actually go ahead and just disengage the autopilot. And we'll just start coming on down a little bit and offsetting to the left. So we're kind of going to set ourselves up for a little bit more of a straight in for 18 left at Hamilton. Keep our speed up, and we'll kind of see how it does shedding the airspeed off once we get a little bit closer. So let's keep coming down. I have to pull the power out a little bit more. Keep our airspeed in check. So the airfield is basically on the south side of this river. You can see right off of our nose. And so it should be just somewhere right over here, basically. I think that might actually be it out over there. We'll keep coming down. See, I think that might actually be it. Try and zoom in a little bit more. See buildings and stuff right there. It looks like some hangars right there, and a nice big fat runway right there. So we'll call that field in sight. Let's really pull the power back now. We say for the flaps was 136 knots, or 136 knots for the first notch of flaps. Kind of in a right base for 18 left here. Let's go ahead and get, whoa, big airspeed change there. Let's go ahead and get slowed down below 136. Get our first notch of flaps out. Gear in transition. For the field out our right wing over there. Let's get below 119 and go flaps full. Go, gear is down. Flaps are set. Looking for 90 knots on the approach here. Still bleeding airspeed off. We're starting our turn to final. 18 left, Hamilton. Not the smoothest so far, but first time attempting, I'll take it. A little bit low. Yeah, visibility is gonna get a little bit difficult. I'm gonna have to really sit up in the seat here. There's 90 knots. Fast. Pull back. Leave that speed off. Alright, just focus on trying to get near the markers somewhat. Alright, start pulling the power out. And start to flare. Very, very touchy there on the rudder pedal. That was my bad. Kind of flinched. Alright, we're gonna exit the runway off to the left up here. Taxi on over to the ramp. So we've got some friends over there, so we'll park on over there. There's a big crest right there in the middle of the runway. Really not a great landing by me at all, but yeah, first time made it down safely. Call that good. Get our taxi light on and go ahead and start to taxi on over to the ramp here. Get shut down. First FS Economy flight in several years about to be in the books. And even if you want to roast me for how bad of a flight this has been, I'm glad you all could join along. Like and subscribe if you want to see some more stuff like this. Also, you want to have some input into kind of what we do in FS Economy, or if you're into FS Economy and maybe you're just starting out. I'm kind of thinking about starting up an airline and buying some aircraft for the community basically to fly. So for all y'all that watch the videos and everything, have some input in it and be able to get kind of involved a little bit more. I think that'd be really cool. So we'll come to a stop right here. Go ahead and set our parking brake back. Alright, so let's actually see. So I think we got our flight completed. Let's see, it actually doesn't say. It says the interesting. Okay, so it does say that the flight is completed, and it just cleared. I just had to clear that window, so it just went back to absolutely nothing. And now the aircraft is available at Hamilton, so that is the flight in the books. Like I said, we'll go ahead and go through shutting the aircraft down. I thought it was going to wait until I actually shut the aircraft down to to complete the flight like that. So let's get pitot heat off, avionics master off. Let's see, probably want to go right engine master off and pull it to cut off there. And right engine, yep, the right engine is off. So we'll do the same for the left. Cut off. Here it's spooling down. Put it into cutoff down there. Alright, and then electrical master off. Make sure we turn off all of our electrical equipment. We can get our alternators off as well. And that is us on the ground at Hamilton. Not the smoothest flight, like I said. Kind of figuring the aircraft out as I went along, but I wanted y'all to join me for the first flight. So I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, make sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know if you want to get involved in FS Economy. And yeah, I'll hopefully see y'all on the next video. Until then, bye bye.